You are going to want 5 different photos of yourself. Make sure they're different. The key to your photo is it needs to be a picture of you, and it needs to be to where you can do kind of a close-up. So for instance, when I go in there with the crop tool and I'm going to make it a square, you have got to be able to, move it around so that it has mostly you. And it's okay if there's some background or whatever, but just try to arrange it so that it has you in it. And you notice with the crop, you can also rotate a little bit, which can make it sometimes a more interesting photo. But for this, I'm not going to rotate because it rotates me off of the screen. Okay, so also, if your photo is kind of like mine, you may want to do some auto color, auto tone on it as well. Then I shall go on to my next one and do the same thing. Once you have all of them cropped, it's time to go ahead and turn them into black and white images. So the best way to do that is going to be to go to your image menu, Adjustments, Channel Mixer, right here, and check this monochrome box. You may have to adjust numbers to get what you want. Okay. However, usually just checking that is going to give you a pretty good black and white photo. Okay. Go ahead and do that to each of yours. Okay. Then, once you do that, we are going to make sure that, number one, that we do not overwrite the photos that you have. So it's important that we go ahead right now and make sure that you are saving them in a different location so that you don't lose them. Okay, save or with a different file name or different location, one of the two. Okay, Then on each of your photos, you're going to notice that you have a fill or adjustment layer. That's that black and white circle down there. And when you open that up, we have the ability to posterize, which is towards the bottom. And when you posterize, you also have properties. And we want 5. And the 5 is actually referring to the number of levels. So there's 5 levels of color on here. That's what it's doing. And you're going to do that to each photo. Okay? Then you are going to go to Color, Adobe Color. Remember, you can get there through your Creative Cloud as well as through the internet. You'll log in with your school email. And I did already have one saved. So I'm going to go ahead and open this and edit it. I called this my turquoise theme. And I have this as my base color. So you are going to have 5 different color schemes that you have to make. However, I want you to choose a base color, and that color, which for me is going to be this one, needs to be the same in each of your color schemes. Okay? So this is my monochromatic color scheme right here. They're all in the same family. This is my base color. And I went ahead and I already saved mine, okay? And I gave it a name. I called it turquoise. And you're going to be able to download it. So your color schemes are going to be monochromatic, analogous, double split, split, and and triad. So you have 5 color schemes that you are creating. Go ahead and do that now. You save them over here, and then you'll see them in your libraries. Remember that monochromatic and analogous are 2 different things. Analogous simply means they are next to each other on the color wheel. Analogous should not be monochromatic, okay? So make sure you spread that out a little bit so you definitely get more color family. When you have your color schemes saved to your library, the easiest way for you to be able to use it is to click on it and then notice that you have some download options. You've downloaded it as a JPEG before, but you can also download it as ASE. And this is a swatch file that we can load in Photoshop. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on one. You can see it's downloaded here. I will go to Photoshop and I will choose one of my photos. Okay, so I'm going to go up here to my Swatches panel. Remember, if your Swatches panel isn't visible, you go to the Window menu and choose Swatches. And I'm going to go to the menu up at the top right and choose Import Swatches. Well, my swatches are not an ACO file, they are an ASE file. And again, typically it's going to download it to your downloads folder. And there it is. So I am loading it, and here is my color scheme. So in order to use this, we need to go to our Layers panel, and we need to select both layers, our adjustment layer and our photo, right-click, and merge layers. If we don't merge layers, then we won't be able to select the right thing with our magic wand. So I'm going to go to my magic wand. Right now my tolerance is set at 50. And I'm unchecking contiguous. Remember, by unchecking contiguous, when I click on a color, it selects all instances of those colors or that color throughout the photo. And I feel like it did a good job, so I'm going to leave it at 50, and I'm going to then go to my color picker and I'm picking the lightest color. That's what I'm choosing. You don't necessarily have to do it that way. And then I'm going to get my paint bucket. I am also going to make sure that it's on 100% opacity and contiguous unchecked, so that all I have to do is click once to make it fill all of those selected areas. Then I'm going to use the magic wand, and I'm going to pick the next color. And I'm going from lightest to darkest. And so there I'm going to fill, deselect, and the next color I believe is going to be this one. Magic wand and eyedropper. I'm going to go here, paint bucket, deselect, next color, and then one more, and whoops, there we go. So now I have a photo that has been colorized in a monochromatic color scheme. So I can go ahead and I can do a save as. Always save as a Photoshop file first. I'm going to call that one monochromatic. And then I'm going to continue with my other 4 photos with different color schemes.